Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson. Welcome to Tea Time. This is unedited and unscripted, and today we're going to talk about getting yourself to do things that you don't want to do sometimes. Do you ever have that feeling where you're like, gosh, I really should do this thing that I really actually want to do in like the larger scheme of things, but I don't want to do it right now because I'm tired, I don't feel like it, I had a long week, just one of those excuses that feels very valid, which it is, and kind of holds you back from getting these like longer term goals, whether it's like changing your diet, going to speak to a doctor or surgeon for your related transition, or, just a project that you have, something that you care about. Sometimes I'm like, my brain is saying, wouldn't you rather just like play some games today than write your book or work on this project that you know is really important and that you want to do, but you don't want to do it right now because you're tired, your brain doesn't have the energy to do it? Welcome to my brain. That's something that happens. So I've been thinking a lot about this because in quarantine, you spend a lot more time on your own, and there's a lot less things to do except the things that you can do with your time now. And a lot of people have guilt trips about not being as productive as they could in quarantine or feeling like they should be really productive. And I agree, like being productive during quarantine is a great thing. But feeling guilty and feeling terrible about not being productive is not productive in your own sense of well-being. So we got to work with that. There's got to be ways that we can work with ourselves to help ourselves do the things that we really want, the delayed gratification things. I touched on this with patience earlier, but don't worry, I'm not going to tell you patience this time, about like how we get ourselves to do things. By the way, if this is new to you, write me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is a Tea Time series. I think I just mentioned it earlier. We cover personal growth and trans-related topics. So with this, I want to talk to you about some of the important and kind of like key tricks that I've learned in managing myself, because this is what it really comes down to, is managing yourself, to get myself to do the things that I actually want to happen. So the first thing is understanding your barriers, the things that are stopping or holding you back from doing the thing. What's that little voice saying? My little voice, it says, well, I just don't feel like it. I don't want to do it right now. No, that's the feeling. It's literally like that. It's like there's a little child in myself that just doesn't want to do something. So there's two ways of approaching your opposition, the thing that's stopping you. The first one is to acknowledge it and say, okay, I acknowledge you and I disagree and I'm just going to do something anyways. But that feels like it takes effort, right? It feels like it takes effort to push back. So that's one method. And when you have energy to do that, I think that's a great way of doing it, because just getting yourself out of the chair to move and do that thing is good. But it takes a decision and it takes energy. And so when you don't have the energy to push back on that, the likely case is you're going to fall back and say, oh, you know what, I can't, I'm not going to. And that's okay too. But when you do that, it's going to come with this second feeling of guilt. Do you feel guilty when you don't do the thing you know you should do? Does that happen? Definitely happens for me. And so what you end up doing is you end up watching Netflix or playing some games or just doing something else that you want to do that isn't what your goal or longer term thing that you want. And you enjoy it and you have a good time, but there's a sense of guilt. And that sense of guilt adds an additional tax to your experience, which is that it makes it less. You become less present depending on how large of a task this is. If it's something you must do, like I need to return my taxes, but I really don't want to do them today, that's going to manifest as stress, that's going to manifest as anxiety, it's going to manifest as this thing lurking around the corner that you don't want to do, but you know in the back of your head that you're going to have to do on Monday or something like that. So it taxes you of your relaxation and your regeneration time, which is what you've just committed to. So that's also kind of like this weird relationship that you can have getting yourself to do things. And my recommendation for that path, when you work down that path, is to be caring and loving for yourself. Do you know how to hug yourself? Do you know how to just say, I love you, and that's okay. I'll let you do that. I know that sometimes I want these things from you and you don't want to do them, and that's totally fine. That's okay. And you can do that. That's definitely another path you could do. But I want to give you the most powerful tools to getting yourself to do the things. And there's two of them. The first one is right now. And I call it right now because it's sort of like a method where you say, all right, I thought of it. Well, I'm going to do it right now, right now, right now, right now. I mean it, like right now. If you're thinking of something that you want to do, get up, stop watching this video, and go do it right now. Do it right now. Go do it right now. Right now, right now, right now, right now. And you may be like, well, I don't really want to do it right now. No, shut up. Do it right now. So that's an approach. That's a way to get it. And you can come back to this video later after you've done the thing right now, because we'll talk about some other ways of doing it. But right now, right now, right now is a great way to move yourself towards doing it. Because when you give yourself no choice but to say, I've thought of it and I have to do it right now, then there's no pain in being like, oh, there's no voice to say, oh, I don't want to do it, because you're like, well, the only choice is right now and I must go do it right now. I use that for the things that are important. If there's anything that I think that is important, like filing my business information or like setting up something, and I think, oh yeah, I need to do that, I should do that later, and I go, no, like right now, right now, right now. So there's that. There's another one, which I prefer the most and I use most often, which is I need to edit this video, and you know what? Why don't I don't feel like doing the whole thing, but maybe what if I just do a small thing? This is called action begets motivation. It's a framework for thinking of like how motivation works, and motivation works not in the way that you think it is, where you think, oh, I need to ramp up to being motivated in order to do something. It's the other way around. You start doing the thing and then you become motivated to get to do that thing. So when you're not doing the thing, it's hard to find motivation, and sometimes motivation is found through inspiration and other methods, but that's not the only method. The other method is to actually do the thing. So you say, oh yeah, like find something in your life that you need motivation for. What is the smallest possible thing that you could do right now, or maybe a little later, but what's the smallest little thing that you could do? Go do it. It's not going to cost you a lot of time. Make it 5 minutes. Make it 10 minutes. Just make it however long you need to make it in the smallest possible time. Like if it's registering for your name and sex change on your passport, which is like a paperwork thing that I think we all dread doing and want to delay, find out what the smallest thing is. Just do like a little bit of Googling and read a little bit on how to do it. And then just stop after 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Just do that and see how you feel after that. You'll feel good. You'll feel like you've made progress. And next time you do a little bit, you'll be in the next stage, right? But what often happens, and this is sort of like the trick, is once you start doing it, you create more motivation to do more of it. And so you find yourself in the zone, and 30 minutes later, you've solved figuring out how to do the thing, and then you're just doing it. So those are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you today. And if you have any other tips, I'd love to hear from you. Write me a comment down below. I will see you in next episode of Tea Time. Bye.